want your team on. So take 1 second, Steve, Dr. Steve, for everybody. Please send out another invite to your teams. Get them on. No news like the real news when it's live, and you're seeing it all right here, right now with us on this live call with Dr. Steve as well. So, Dr. Steve, over to you, and we'll get Nick on here in a minute.
Awesome, awesome. All right. Well, he's actually on with us. So, guys, like I said, for all the members that has just joined us or our guest that has joined us, the way the order will be, if you have a question, please type it in the chat. Between Casey and I will read the question out to Nick, and he will answer it. So we will get started. Mr. Nick, how are you?
I'm doing good. Hey, good morning,
Awesome.
Steve. Yeah, it's good to see you. Thanks so much for emceeing tonight's call. Well, it's Thursday. I have been so like excited to come and actually face to face with everybody. And I know normally I don't take live calls, but tonight, whatever's on your mind, if you have a question or if I haven't explained something properly, just let me know. It's going to be an exciting call. I don't even know what to say. I got good news sitting here on my desk. So anyway, good morning, everybody. As you know, I did post, right, that we've suspended the VBA contract operation, right? This is a temporary move. And again, it's not because of all the selling pressure, right? I literally, that same day that you saw the drop, there's a coincidence, was the same day that I inked out the new agreement. And it's a $200 million long-time, lifetime residual income opportunity. Okay. And it's actually, the potential is much higher than that, but that's actually the deal that we're working on. And I want to thank everybody, every participant, every member, every token holder. Thank you so much, right? We could have not pulled this in without your help, your support, your trust, your enthusiasm. Not only, am I proud of that, but it's starting to reach the globe, around the globe. I know, Steve's been talking about, leaders in Africa and India and, Europe's getting ready to blow off. So is South America, by the way. So we're making an impact. We're still small, we're still growing, we're still strong. But what we need to do right now, and this has come up since like literally day one, when are you going to lock the contract? If you lock the contract, then my big guy or somebody I've worked with, all of my life wants to come and be a part of our community. And we've reached that edge right now where I need to make good on that. I mean, as you've seen over the past weeks, right? It just, at least from my vantage point, it just seems like this week, we got to make this change. I talked to the leadership council and they're like, hey, wouldn't it be better if we did this? So we have to pause things because we have to really get into the contract. I need to put something together here. So you're looking at about let's just say around the corner. Okay. I don't want to give a date, but just give me about 7-10 days, and everything will be locked in. And I'll come back here. And also through that process, by the way, I'll be communicating with the leadership council, literally every day or every other day. I'll actually, as I mentioned about a week or so ago, the DAO is active for voting. So I might engage you in that, if it's something that I think, we're on a, should we go right? Should we go left? So obviously every decision I can't do, but I know the direction we're going in, guys. At this point, I would love to tell you all the specifics of the deal, but just bear with me. Good news is here, signed contract. And what you're going to see, as I mentioned in the note, has never been done. Okay. It's global. It has mass appeal. We've already done very well. I know a lot of you have really, if you, are new to DeFi or if you've been in it for the last, since Bitcoin came out, we have won. We have won in a big way, right? I'm still pinching myself at how remarkable this deal has come together. So anyway, I want to hear from you today. So, Steve, if you want to start fielding some questions for me, I'd super appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, from Mirrors, what is going on? What is going to happen to the 6 weeks campaign since people who participated were unable to claim?
Oh, good question. Really good question. Well, I can't unlock it. All right. But what we typically with that, not typically, but what we do with that is we run a report, right, at the end of that time of that week. and then it generates, basically a script that then sends all the winners your VBA. So I'll make this commitment. We'll still run the report, and then unfortunately, even the Treasury can't send VBA at this point. So don't don't think that me or anybody else is in the back end doing something. But yeah, I'll pay out on that, and then what I'll do, which I normally don't do, is I'll post the report of the winners from that week, and let you guys know how much you're due. And then when we do open the contract back up, I'll make sure you get your tokens. Most definitely.
Okay, wonderful. Hey, Debbie, I see your hand up, but if you don't mind typing your question in the chat, and we'll ask a question. Okay, so let's see, another question. Is it possible for us to get the Telegram chat back? Sometimes it's good to hear from the community.
Yes, we can do that. We can do that. I mean, the existing, rather the group that we shut down last week, it was getting out of control. I mean, you guys can agree with that. I mean, even the people that were engaged in there were like, hey, sometimes, oh my gosh, I've got 35 messages sitting here about the same thing. And a lot of times what happens is rumors spread, or one person gets scared and it affects everybody else. So that was my only intention with shutting that down. But if you need to have a group, okay, I'll get with one of the leaders. I won't manage that for you, and I won't attach it to the DAO, because the news channel is really where you want to be at. So if you want to know all these new exciting updates, and when we're having our calls, things like that, the news channel is where you need to be. But I'll talk to one of the leaders and I'll have them moderate that for you.
Yeah, and I concur. The news channel is really a good source for information. All right, next question. When will the bonds start?
Oh, good question. Okay. I had noticed a lot of people have been asking, since the contract shut down, is there a way that, the people that want to be involved right now can buy? The solution for that is the bonds. And let me tell you why. And as a matter of fact, okay. With the bonds, the way those are going to be structured, or the way that I've discussed that they're going to be structured, is, and I'm just going to pick a 1,000 die as an example. When that bond is purchased, okay, the purchaser actually gets VVA at a discount. Okay, so I'm going to readjust those numbers for the percentage discount, because the price is already a bargain, unbelievable bargain. But the buyer will get a VBA at a discount. You, as the sponsor, will get basically a reward paid in die, not VBA. So when you sell a bond, you get the die, and you can do whatever you want with that die. And then thirdly, the Treasury gets a piece of that, so that we have revenue to pay the bills. I've got to staff up just crazy with what we're bringing down the pipe. So 70% will go directly into liquidity. Okay, so that's $700 that'll go on PancakeSwap to raise the liquidity. And I know a lot of you follow that. So where we are now, plus 700. And if we sell 1,000 bonds, 70% is always going to go straight into the liquidity pool. Originally, I had told you that if you did refer somebody for the bond as their sponsor, you would receive 5% of that amount. So on 1,000, that'd be $50. And as I've thought through this, I'm going to really sweeten that deal for you. Okay, 5% was supposed to go to you, 25% was supposed to go to the Treasury. So I'm going to increase that from 5% to 15%. Okay, so instead of receiving 50, let's say $150 off of that 1,000, I'm sorry, instead of receiving 50, you're going to get 150. Easy math, right? And then the Treasury is only going to keep 10% of that. And I really thought through that, because we need revenue to the Treasury. But if you guys have people that feel so strongly about what we're going to do, sight unseen as of yet, then I think you need to be rewarded for that, that extra effort. So you'll receive 15%, the liquidity pool will receive 70%, and then the Treasury will receive 10% out of that amount. Now, I'd hoped to have launched that today, but we ran into a major snag, okay, that I didn't understand quite as deeply as I do now. How are you going to buy a bond for VBA if the VBA contract is shut down, right? So we're switching that to most likely it's going to fall into SVVA. So instead of paying in VVA for the bonds, we'll be paying in SVVA. And then those people, after the vesting period, which, as you may recall, is 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, they can then stake that as soon as the contract comes live. But I'll have more detail on that. Give me a little room if it's not SVVA. I may be able to write an exception, you're right, in the contract. But basically, I'm here on Monday. Monday will be the day. Okay. Because we're going to
Awesome.
be working on a lot of things over the weekend. So I hope that was clear. Did that make sense to you,
Yes,
Steve?
yes, it did. Yes, I
Okay.
sure did.
Well,
Okay, with multiple announcements like new income streams, debit cards, and partnerships,
mhm.
what independent verification or documentation can hold or seed to evaluate these developments?
Well, the news channel is one.
There we
The
go.
call, the update calls. If you're looking for something like more formal, when we get closer to launching, this new venture that we're going to be working on. Actually, it's ventures, but I want to stagger that out. So with the debit card process, right? I talked to them, yesterday. I'm shooting before the holiday to at least have a demo, a live demo where I can get on here and show you, how the e-wallet works, how you get your debit cards, what the price is going to be, all that. So that's a target for me, all right? But I don't have a date yet, but I'm hustling to do that for you. Regarding the new venture, I have to kind of keep it under wraps because we got to do a white paper, we got to integrate with their systems. You know what I mean? There's materials, to help you share that story that we have to produce. So, like I said, 7 to 10 days ish on that. Um, but yeah, you'll have all the written, documentation. We'll make sure the support staff, knows as much as I do. So if you do have a question during this time, you can go to them if I'm not available. And like I said, we'll
Beautiful.
put as much in your hands as we most possibly can.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay, approximately in what quarter of 2026 will a smart contract be audited and renounced?
What quarter? ASAP. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, as soon as possible. And this is the thing.
Mhm.
It's like when we launched, I mean, that was my intention. I mean, I didn't expect us to go further than 3 weeks. And we had actually, paid quite a, big sum of money to start the auditing process, but we had to stop because as you know, we had to make changes, we made additions, we made enhancements. So on this round, and one of the reasons why I really am grateful for your patience here is we just need to just stop making tweaks and just open it up, right? Make sure everything's in a line. So nothing that the value that we are providing will change. It's just the additional value. We'll have additional instruments for you, right? Like a NFT node, better tracking, and like I said, the opportunity is lifetime, right? Currently, it's just the rebase rewards. So the new opportunity really will be lifetime value. You get involved, you participate, and then like clockwork, okay, you're going to receive added benefit and reward. So,
Awesome.
mm.
Okay, so that answers that. Okay, question on how and where can community members make suggestions for something to be voted on? I think you kind of alerted to that a little bit.
Yeah. Well, right now we have the advisory board and we've got the leadership council. The leadership council is accessible. We have about 38 members and participants in that. So get in touch with them. Okay. At the very minimum, talk to the person that sponsored you, right? And say, hey, I love this suggestion. I'd really like to get it to Nick. And then, they'll share it with me onward. Now, Dr. Steve, if you think it's a good idea, I can do an online form. Regrettably, like I said, the Veritas Vault email stays slammed. A lot of people are directly connecting me on Telegram. And then, as you know, I have a workload, that's amazing over the next, period here. So I cannot directly, look at each question as they come in and then respond. So either I tell you what, forget the form. I'll
Mhm.
notify customer service actually, and do have a customer service email. I'll make that available. And then I'll tell the manager over there to make sure that she kind of reads through it, gives me a synopsis once a day of, hey, this question came in, this is the suggestion. So all you have to do is just go to the website, click on the customer service live chat, which is available 24/7, by the way.
Mhm.
Type in whatever your question is, and then one of those staff will organize it and get it back to me. Once I review it, then on the update calls at the very latest, I'll get back with you as much as I can on each individual concern.
It's a great idea. Exactly.
I think so too.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
And additionally too, and I'll work on this. Give me about another 24 hours or so, but I'm going to actually put a notice because we have 300 people on the call right now, but we have, like 9,000 token holders. So not everybody might be aware of what's going on. So I will have a very clearly seen post when you go to the website to let everybody know. All right. That, we've got big things coming. So.
awesome. All right. I know we got a lot of questions coming in, so I'm gonna try and go through here. Okay, Wayne has a question. Why did we have a massive sell-off this past week? What's going on? And I think a lot of people are asking that question. So,
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah. I don't know. I
exactly.
honestly, I do not know. From where my vantage point, it makes zero sense to me. All right, the token that was the same token when we launched, the same token when we were at $3, $3.90. Nothing has changed. I have never, readjusted the rebase rewards. We're getting stronger and bigger, but people do sometimes what they do. Okay, so I guess people just, I don't know.
Right.
Just wanted to try and cash it out. I mean, I
That's
wish
the answer. That's
that
the
is
answer.
that is genuinely the answer.
Golden.
Exactly.
That's a golden answer.
So Casey, we got a lot of questions. Go ahead and jump in there and let's look at some of the questions that
Yeah.
commonly asked, and go ahead and ask, and I'll do the same.
Yeah. These are some really good questions. One asked, what is the minimum for the bond going to be?
Oh, yes. Originally it was going to be 500, but in our situation, I'm dropping it to $50, 50 DAI, essentially.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because we've just
That's
got
awesome.
all kind of dynamic teams. So
Yeah.
I want to always, keep the barrier low, keep the reward high. So 50 is the answer there.
Mhm.
But plus 15%, okay, direct to you on every bond that you refer from
Right.
your.
Very generous. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Another
Thank
question.
you.
How do we recruit if we can't purchase VVA?
Well, the bonds is the only option that's going to be available during this period, but this is temporary, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're coming up on the holidays. Once, I get back with you to understand really what this means right here.
Mhm.
I wanted to bring some meat to the table, and instead of like shooting at a rabbit, we hit an elephant. Okay, and this is huge. So, if you want to wait, I get it. Nobody's asking you to do something. Nobody's asking you to sell bonds. But the first thing that came out of mind, which actually surprised me, where people were like, "Well, how do we buy? I got this big team, and this guy wants to do this." So we can accommodate that effective Monday. And like I said, when we open things back up, you'll have you'll have something that believe me will have global appeal and will be very lucrative.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
I'm reading through here. Great answer. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
All right, Nick. Since I don't know, there's a lot of questions, and there's so many great ones. And these are great questions, guys. Thanks so much for throwing the questions in here. One person just said, Nick says it is temporary, but we can't sponsor and can't claim. I thought they could sponsor. They can sponsor now, can't they?
Well, if they can't buy
That's right.
VBA, right?
That's right. Right.
Then I guess no. Yeah. Now
Okay.
you can bring people into the bonds. They'll still be attached to you. You'll still be rewarded for that action. And the person will just have to stay, 3, 6, 12 months, which is not unusual in the industry, right? I mean, we all know of programs that, they have these weird, algorithms and, what I mean, hoops you got to jump through and charges. So the bonds is extraordinarily lucrative, especially where the token price is right now, right? So the
Right.
person that you do sponsor, they win, you win. The DAO and the treasury and the liquidity pool wins. So it's win-win all around. So.
That is
And
solid.
again, yeah, I mean that's really why I wanted to actually reward you higher than the original idea, and we the liquidity will help. But like I said, when we launch this right now, we're going. I misspoke yesterday. I had said 20 million, right? That's phase one. All right. And that's what we're looking at when I open the doors again. Also, we'll be a lot closer to locking the contract at that point, and then renouncing it and keep continuing to build because we now have an additional venture which will let us grow. So I want the VBA issue finally settled. Okay, we've talked about withdrawal limits. I've instituted like different groups for different types of fees. I'm tired of doing that, guys. I really am. So I will be communicating with the leadership council and especially you, and we will do a DAO vote, all right, before we lock the contract. But when we do, that is what VBA is, and that's what VBA will continue to be moving forward. What I'm doing on this end right now is I'm integrating, these remarkable opportunities. The revenue from the debit cards should be phenomenal, and we're going to be able to market that outside of just being a member or a token holder. So that'll be great. And like I said, this new opportunity that we're looking at will be fantastic, and it'll be additional vehicles. It'll be an overlay on top of what we're doing, and it's optional. Like I said, if you're for some reason you don't want to share this new opportunity with your family, friends, and those you care about, that's okay. VBA will continue to march forward, and the success of that venture, the success of the debit cards, will all benefit you, whether you participate directly or sponsor in that area or not. Hope that makes sense.
Awesome. Yes. All right.
Awesome.
A question here. When can we expect to see the VBA value rise again? I know that's been a common question.
Mhm. Well, I again, I don't have a crystal ball, and I'm not a financial advisor. This is not, financial advice. But and again, I was sincere when I just said I don't know what people are selling. I really don't. I don't know if it's, I'll take responsibility for that. But I mean, I'm doing everything I can. The team is
Yeah.
doing everything we can. We're building, we're growing. So if we continue on that, it's up to, you guys,
Yeah.
Right.
understand.
So
Yeah.
exactly. So it's once things are open back up and the purchasing, right, the buying
Mhm.
will dictate the value of the token going up.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Is the VBS still on the DEX scanner? I believe it is. Yeah, it still is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Mm.
And it's still on chain too. You can, still go back in time and look at the wallets and transactions and things like that.
Okay. And here's a one along lines the same thing we were asking. When everything is unlocked again, will the token price be where it's left as it was locked?
Yes.
Wow, that's gonna be amazing.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing's going to happen. Everything stays the same. No ups, no downs, just across the board. And that's another beauty with the bonds as well. Just kind of a refresher. On chain, when you buy VBA, as you know, the price goes up, right? When people sell VBA, the price goes down. But all of that volume, okay, feeds into the liquidity pool. So if let's say $2 million came in, the price would go up, and then we'd have $2 million worth of VBA sitting in the liquidity pool, literally. And then if someone sells 100,000, then it'll be, 1,900,000 in the liquidity pool. So, 100% goes there. The only money that does not remain in the liquidity pool are the fees, right? That the DAO charges for participation. And then those funds are used to pay your rebase rewards. What I'm doing now is I'm adding, right, to the resource of the liquidity pool directly. So if let's say we sell 500,000 in bonds, right? then that 500,000 will be on top of the liquidity that we currently have, or rather, I should say 70% will be in the liquidity pool. But you could, right now with the bonds, we could put as much liquidity into that pool and the price will still remain the same. But what I'm thinking here, right, is as liquidity goes up, right, through bond sales, when we do reopen, okay, my thinking is the anticipated response because we do have the liquidity, the price, will move forward. That's like I said, I'm not making any promises there. And it's really at the end of the day, it's up to the team, to decide,
Right.
what they're doing with the tokens. I mean, the staking opportunity, I mean, sometimes I feel like we're standing on the corner and, selling $5 bills for, 250. But the opportunity is there, the resources, right, from these ecosystem developments and enhancements will only support the token, right? The token is not going away. I just want to help lock it down. I want to make sure we can integrate these new remarkable things we've scored and kind of go from there. Did that make sense on the liquidity pool side of things, David? Or do
Yeah,
I
it
need
did.
to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Casey, anything stands out? If
Yeah.
not, got it.
I'm seeing a couple things, Dr. Steve. Nick, I'm seeing, and this is, I think we were going to address this about a week ago, and here we are. So there's too much going on. So, but guys, hang in there. So there's several people here that believe, and I like the way they believe because look, this affects those of us that were founders, more than anybody else, which is good because guys, I'm like I told Nick the other day and Dr. Steve and Scott and everyone else, I said, look, I'm willing to give up 50%, 80% of my tokens to ensure the longevity of everything with this company and who we are. Whatever it takes, guys. I'm a whatever it takes, and I think we all are. We're whatever it takes. And we can burn, party, and we can do whatever. But there's a thing, Nick, that's popping up, and we spoke about this, and that's the rebase reward. Not the rebase, but the referral rewards.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's asking again and bringing up, hey, I think we're paying too much in referral rewards. I've seen it a couple of times. What can we do to ensure? And I'm glad because these people genuinely care.
I know.
Yeah, and thank you. I applaud everybody for that because you're so generous, and in your heart, man, it's just pouring out with love, and it always has been. Everybody knows that. But whatever we got to do, you're going to do to make sure this is here. And guys, let me tell you, I got to speak for you, Nick, if you don't mind. That I got to bring this up because, guys, we have mentioned this several times in the Leadership Council. Because we're here to protect this and preserve it and nurture it and build it and grow it for the long haul, like Nick. And we want to protect this like it's our little baby bird in our hand. That's what we're doing, right? And we've talked about this very same question of whatever we can do to skim it down, because even if it's skimmed down, it's still the best opportunity out there just because of Nick, just because of you. Because you don't see people like yourself, absolutely, that come to the forefront and speak to everybody, real and uncensored. And we know what you look like. You're not AI, are you? Is that your real face? Just kidding. No, guys, that's him. I know him for 27 years.
Yeah.
We're not putting on those, those today's world, man. The cover, like, who is that? They put a different face on the body. But Nick, is there anything we can do or moving forward? I know we can tighten some things up, and we're still the best paying. I'm willing to give up whatever I can to make sure, a step back for 10 steps forward, or I'll take 9 steps back to take 10 steps forward. Anything on the rewards as far as referrals and maybe doing some trimming, or got any ideas?
I'm going to say this, and I hope everyone really feels this way. It is always my singular intention to be additive about what we do here, right? How do we add more liquidity? How do we add more value? How do we add better training, resources, et cetera? It's never to take away. Now we are rewarding high, right? And everybody loves that. Everybody is one as far as just as I always imagined. If we do decide, and I mean we, okay, because like I mentioned before, and I don't want to sound frustrated or tired, but we've got a good thing, okay. And where I sit right now, particularly with what I know that you guys will soon enjoy, is that I want us to hold on to what we have. And that literally means holding on to the token, right? I mean, you'd asked me earlier, why are people selling? I don't know why people are selling, right? But
Right.
if we all just keep on working, keep on going forward, keep on believing in the project, keep on reaping your level rewards, and hopefully enjoy token price increases. But this was never ever designed to be like a get rich game. It really
Right.
wasn't.
Right.
My intention has always been to just keep building, keep growing, keep being honest about it. When we run into roadblocks, I think I hope you guys would agree. I've done everything I can to make sure that we made right on things, even when we were overpaying substantially, from that
Yes.
contract hiccup, right?
Right. Right.
Nobody asked you to, burn your tokens or send them back. Okay. But the select group of leaders, most certainly did. So what's the answer to the question here? If we decide to make any more, and I truly am sincere about this because we're bringing on so much right now.
Hmm.
I don't want to have to always go back because I get a lot of great ideas. I mean, like literally every day somebody comes up with something magical that I couldn't have imagined.
Sure.
I want that to actually start being a DAO decision. Okay.
Okay.
I don't want to get on the call and say, hey, yesterday we decided to decrease the first level reward from 18% to 12.
Yeah.
Right. And then me
Yeah.
sit up here and just like explain why and this,
Yeah.
that, and the other. So those type of changes will be posted. Now, obviously, my focus has to stay, direct on getting the contract open up again. So that's my singular focus. But if the ideas that start coming into customer service make sense, right, and make enough sense, where I can
Hmm.
look at it and say that's impossible, but this is really something brilliant. I'll start bringing, not start, I will bring that to the DAO, right, and
Okay.
propose that. And then those votes will be tallied based on the amount of SVVA that you're currently staking. That's your weight. And if we get over, 51% simple majority, it goes into implementation, right?
Okay.
Uh, Obviously, nothing is instant in this world, and particularly with DeFi, because it is, like we said on the video, like an automated, coffee maker. You set it and you forget it. So once that decision is made, we'll implement, and as I always do, I'll share the timelines and expected benefits with everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great, Nick. Because one thing that I've noticed ever since we got started is we're the most generous. You are the most generous paying uh,
Mhm.
company opportunity out there. Dr. Steve, we all agree. All the founders agree. And we love you for that. And you knew that it could be done, or else you wouldn't have done it. I think it's a classic example of we just grew too fast. Everything's blown up fast, which you've
Yeah.
said many times. Wow, you're just shocked. You woke up and you saw this and this. And hey, man, you've got the best opportunity out there in today's world in the crypto space. It's just the only problem. Like, it's not a problem, but for most people, say, well, we got a problem. No, guys, it's in the beginning. So there it is. Like I said when I was pulling in the garage, we got a great problem. We're in the beginning. You know, we're in the beginning. It says, well, we're 3-4 months, guys. It's in the beginning. We're growing, and we're organically growing, and so we just have to deal with growing pains, and we just get over it, and we just have faith in Nick and what he's doing, and the shots he's calling, and also the advisory board that he gets on with and gets the answers. So there is community involved in helping Nick with these decisions, and so thank you for Nick for that, because most owners won't do that. Most owners I've ever seen will not have a decision with the community and pick 38, 34 people. There may be 2 or 3 people making those decisions at most, guys, but all of us get a say so here. And if you're not there, don't worry, you have somebody, your sponsor or their sponsor, that is somewhere in there. Someone's attached to somebody that's helping make decisions.
Awesome.
Uh, so thanks, Nick, for that and being generous. And I know with so much projects coming down the line that I can see it's one of those things where the projects didn't come quick enough, and here we are. But when the projects come and they're right there, we can handle that problem, and we're not getting overpaid because we see the token, we see the growth, we see everything going global with all the decisions being made. Dr. Steve, I see
Yes.
a question. I want to go ahead, Dr. Steve. I see
No,
a
good.
couple of
Oh, just
questions.
yeah, just real quick. I just want to say this. Our inflation is high, right? Because we have the amount of VBA is higher than it should be. I'm aware of that, and I will be doing burns, right? I think the first one was like at that current price. I think it was like 700,000 or something
Okay.
in value that
Perfect.
we burned. The next burn that comes around is going to be substantial. I mean, like I'm talking probably three times that amount, or at
I
least three
love it.
times that number of token, and
Yay.
that'll take some of the stress off. But as far as like taking anything away from you, and something too, I do need. I'm surprised this hasn't come up with the rebase rewards. Okay, while the token is, or while the contract is currently closed down for revisions, you will not get rebase rewards. Okay, sorry guys.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
wanted to address that because I'm gonna have surprised. But everything that you have in your wallet, everything of all of your staking is totally fine. Like I said, just let me put this together so that it's understandable and ready for you guys to share and actually see, how much. I'm trying so hard to not say the word money, but this is crazy. This is
Yeah.
this is
No, I'm
this,
excited.
this
I'm excited. Yeah, I
yeah.
think we're all excited. It's Dr. Steve. I'm gonna hammer a couple questions, so because
Yes.
we're
Right. And
if
we
you
got a
don't
lot of
mind.
questions. Yes.
Yeah, and we got a lot. So these are going to be pretty quick, and so let's get through. So when will we just probably address that, but let's get a specific, I guess, or asking a question for specific. When will we all be back up to date with our compounding?
Back up to date with our compounding.
Yeah, like they're saying, when will the rebase start again? When will we
Oh,
start
sure. Yeah,
compounding?
it's yeah. As soon as we flip the switch and it comes back online, that's immediate. Immediate.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And what
And
was that? Was that a timeline like Monday? What was that timeline, give or take? Do you know
I,
at this moment?
I really, I wish I did. And I'm not. Again, I don't want to pull numbers out of the sky, but like I said, within today is Friday morning for me.
Yeah.
I got to get the bonds out by Monday, right?
Okay.
So you know, it's like I said, 7 to 10 days. I feel comfortable saying that.
Okay.
And also, you know, probably one of the votes is I'll go back to your previous question. The so far the leadership council and just some of the people that I respect and admire have given me ideas on because currently, whether you came in like day one or after your 24-hour hold period, or you've been in since a founder since day one, we've
Uh-huh.
been paying a consistent amount, 0.44, right, to your rebase
Yeah.
rewards, of which you've been compounding, right, and growing your stack.
Like
The
clockwork.
suggestion has been made that if, let's say, from day 0 to day 30, right, we pay out or reward 0. Let's say 20. And
Okay.
then from day 30 to day 90, we're paying 0.28 or 31.
Yeah.
And for people that are holding on to the tokens, right? Because everybody wants that.
Right.
So that's something on the plate. This is so premature to throw this out, but since I'll
Right.
share.
No, but
Um,
that's great. Thank you for because that's important. Thank you for sharing that. Keep going.
Yeah.
Love it.
And that's something that you will vote on. Okay. So if
Okay.
people are cool with that, because right now you could come in for, I don't know, 8 days and you make your rebates rewards and you go on chain and sell it. So
Right.
we want to kind of build more of a stronger foundation of reward for time, right?
Yes.
Reward
Yes.
for sticking with us, right? Not this fast buck stuff that's going to
Right.
surprise them. So
Those are short lived. Few and there's a lot of them out there, and they're short lived. But Nick, I bought some stock before, and I had to hold on to it for a year. And I've been in crypto opportunities where you had to hold for at least 3 months, 6 months, maybe even longer. So for us to have wide open come and go, like 20, the door is wide open. What you've done, and this is why we have to we have to make changes and or whatever. We'll keep doing what we're doing, but we got to hang in there and we got to protect it because the door is wide open. And when we got to this point, guys, it's called growing pains, Nick. So these are growing pains. Let me jump on this next
Right.
question too. Respect everybody's time. Is the
Yeah.
bank card linked with an existing company starting?
Not the answer.
Did you already ask this
no,
question?
no, it's
No,
it's not.
it's
I
not.
Okay.
mean, you guys, we could probably name them off of top of our head.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
several companies that have a card, but what we've got is bigger than anything I've seen. Like literally,
Yeah, okay, okay.
I know you hear
Yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff a lot, and that's why I want to try and get the demo out the door. So no,
yeah.
it's not linked to a company. It is
Okay.
ours.
No, it says an existing company starting with the letter B, or is this a new deal? The letter B.
It's a new deal.
Okay, it's a new deal. Okay, good.
All right, one question here.
Yeah.
What is in place in terms of strategy to help protect the value of the VVA token?
A bigger ecosystem, which is where we're at right now. That's it. That's it. You know,
Bigger
if you
ecosystem
yeah. I mean, if you
and
see something,
staking
I
and
mean,
compound.
just in general, and I'm not trying to get philosophical, but
Yep.
if you see something that you like or you want, right? Be it food or, you know, relationships, career, you know, investments, whatever. If you see something, and as you know, adults, right? You see something you like, you're going to buy it. You're going to invest your time in it. You know, you're going to cherish it, right? You know, sometimes you don't know what you got until it's gone. Everybody's heard that, right?
Mhm.
Right.
I just want you to
Cinderella.
cherish. Yeah, I just want you to cherish what we have. If you do that, then you will be rewarded. We will continue to grow. You know, like I said, we pulled in something phenomenal here. Lifetime
Yeah.
income. Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm trying so hard to keep my mouth closed, but I have to, right? Because if I start talking, then it's going to be when, how, you know,
Right.
how.
What
Yeah.
time?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
which then I think you sort of answered this other question. It says, what are the five RWA projects? You mentioned five yesterday, I believe, or on the
Yeah.
call.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you had liberty to mention the five, but someone was
I,
asking what are the five since you had mentioned it.
yeah, you know, I can't say it
Okay.
right now.
Yeah,
I
right,
can't.
exactly.
Yeah, I don't. I just we've got enough like pressing right now,
Right.
but yeah,
And no,
obviously,
yeah. So just know, guys, there's other projects on the horizon. So right now we got a debit card launching. He mentioned the real estate project and a couple more exciting things coming down the pike here.
mm.
Um, okay, one quick question in case I know you're scoping out for the next one. So
No,
it
keep
says,
going, brother.
will
You're
the
good.
8 hour rewards be backdated when the project gets started?
No.
Will the current VVA value remain? Well, we already answered that, but would the 8 hour reward be backdated when the project gets started? Retro.
I can't. I can't. You know. I hope you respect that. I can't. You know. It's shut. I mean, we you have to make money to give money, right? So,
Right.
I mean, it'd be the same. I mean, it would be just like if I just left it open and just let the rebrace clock, you know. And what's going to happen if we do that with no, you know, with no real, you know, revenue coming in, you know, super high inflation, you know, then no, we can't do that. We can't
Hmm.
do that. And I hope you understand that, like logically, you know.
Right. Okay, so did you see another one there? If not, I'll reiterate on this one.
Hey,
Go ahead, brother.
yeah,
Go
while
ahead.
you're doing that, I promised one of the leaders here, they were kind enough to send me a bunch of questions,
Question.
you know, short and sweet.
Sure.
Okay, that yes, so covered that. Okay, yeah, basically the same question that was just asked here, you know, will there be any type of compensation or payback for the time everything is paused? No. But your funds are secure, right? You'll see it on chain, you know, every day it'll say the same. But what's coming after that will uh, catapult, all right? What little bit of you know, rebase you know, not I can't say losses, but you know what I mean? You know, we got to stop. I mean, stop means stop. Stop means stop. So, is there an estimated time frame for when bonds? Okay, so that's Monday. Okay. Yeah, I think we covered all the things from these people. Did you have anything else, Queso, you wanted to share or
Yeah, I'm
ask?
still. I think we got a couple more. And one person asked, "Can we have this Q&A more often, especially since our growing period and development?" And
Mm.
hey, I'm open to it because I know you're wide open. Whatever you'd like to
Yeah,
do.
I
But
am. I
okay.
am. I mean, I've always wanted to get here. I was actually think of it more like you know, like a podcast type of
Yeah.
thing, you know,
Yeah.
where, you know, it's like me and maybe you and we're, you know, we're back and forth, you know,
Right.
having a live conversation and then taking questions that way. You know, not just me sitting up in here, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
I
we
want
love
to,
hearing from you regardless. Yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah, and
okay. Thank you.
yeah, we can do that, but you know, I'm the type of guy, or at least with my function, everyone. when I come on, I've got something to say, right? So
Yeah.
I don't come on Tuesday and then come in on Thursday and nothing's changed between Tuesday and Thursday and I repeat myself. So, but I'm talking too far on that point. Yes, yeah, we can certainly do that.
That is beautiful, guys. So that's great. So we can have Q&A more often. And look, I got to tell you, someone said this to me, and before we go maybe to a couple more questions. And thanks, guys, keep them coming. And I just want to make a point, guys. We're all a community. Uh, if you could, and I'm just going to be real with you, anything negative in these chats, you probably just don't even want to say it because it's not. It's just not. It's not necessary. We're all a part of this, and it just makes you look like who you are with the comments. Okay, so please keep them to yourself because this is about all of us coming together as one, and not somebody just being, a couple of people pointing people out. Hey, don't just get rid of it, man. Just this, and by the way, it's Christmas time too, of all things. So I would say this. Somebody called me today and they said, well, and they were having some issues, right? They were concerned. And I said, look, I think about this every day. You know, if you can do, and I didn't say, don't take this personal, but if you can do this, you start it. If you can do this, you start this. If you can put something together like Nick has done, you do it and then call me and we'll follow you. We got to give our hats off to you because you not only thought about it, but you did it. A lot of people come up with these amazing ideas. They just never put them into action. So, I just say, look, Nick is doing a lot here. I mean, it's not like he's got, 100 people over there running his company for him yet. Not yet. But your decisions, you're in Manila the other day, you're making moves. David was, got to talk with David, in the car with you. I don't know everything because I don't want to because I love hearing when you get on and tell these updates. So that's why I'm here every time. Guys, get on every time, Monday through Thursday, because you never know. We're growing. We're not there. So we know there's huge news coming. I don't want to miss one. Not only an opportunity call, but potentially we don't even know when you're going to be on, Nick. That's the beauty of besides Thursday. You may be on Monday. You could be on Tuesday. Hey, I want to make sure we're all on there. So is there another question or two? Thanks, Nick.
Yeah. I want to actually, before we go to the other question, I want to really share this. And I think I mentioned this on the other call. I know a lot of times when I speak, I say you know, I'm thinking about this, but it genuinely is we. Right. So even if I'm not doing a vote, with all, 6 or 7,000 active members, I do always bounce it by the leaders. So, I mean, I know Dr. Steve can attest to this, right? We're close, obviously. I know the advisory board. I've known these guys for 20 something years, right? So I'm never ever making a decision just how I feel in the morning. Okay. I'm talking to my programmers. I'm talking to people that have expertise outside of my skill sets. And to move that, further into the future, you guys will always have a voice. Okay. And like I said, I really hope that you take advantage of the customer service during this time to give me ideas. I got a phenomenal idea. I mean, phenomenal ideas. So I just hope that's clear that this is a we, it's not a me. Again, I'm the face of it. I'm the one that's putting in blood, sweat, and tears. I'm the one that's making sacrifices. But this is a we event. So, I hope that's clear on that point.
Yeah.
Okay, so one question I see coming. I'm reading the chat and I'm also seeing. So I'll actually take two questions that tie into one. One of them, for the first year, maximum sell-in per day should be 100 VVAs. Along with that same question, when you reopen up everyone's account, can you have it fair across the board and not just tax the founder's 70% tax, which was never fair to begin with? But the solution is, why don't you just have a simple solution that have a minimum per day that everyone is allowed to withdraw instead of those that help fund it? So the same question. So it's two similar questions. So, and then another question along those lines is, making when you unstake, like you have a limit amount, maybe 100, and then on the sell 100. So those are some suggestions on, on the selling part.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's not, we're considering it, and you will vote on that if that even comes to mind. Okay. You got to understand this, on one side, particularly the last couple of weeks, right? Everybody's seen the numbers. If I could just, go back in time, maybe,
Right.
maybe say more, do more, maybe be accessible. Sometimes that rolls through my mind. I know it's not I didn't do it, but um, I'm going to do everything, right, to make good on if you go back to the first day, the first conference call for all of you, when you first heard about it, you loved it, right? If you didn't love it or see the value and potential there, you wouldn't have taken action. And you know, and then Dr. Steve, I mean, you know this as well. There's people that are coming in strong, guys. $10,000, it may not be, a lot of money for everybody, but for the type of people that are coming in those countries to come up with that kind of cash to join Veritas Vault. And then on the other side, I see somebody who's been with us and selling, even though they're trying to be, unseen or not bring a lot of attention, 200, 3, 4 times a day, 1,000, 5 times a week. And I know, when they joined, they might have came in with $1,000. So this stop, will make sure this $200 million. Okay. And I know that sounds like this crazy figure, but when I show you, you're going to say, oh, wow, just that much. And what about this? And what if we did this? You're going to see how that can expand. I'm not losing that. Okay. I'm not losing that. You know what I mean? I'm not losing that for you. Okay. You will have something that is spectacular that'll make, this little bit of time that we all have to be patient, and like, get real. Okay. I'm trying not to go too sideways here, but this is for us. This is for you. I've made mistakes, I've made mistakes. This is not a mistake action. This is a growth action. This is like with the, I hate to go like a caterpillar, right? The caterpillar can't turn into a butterfly unless it cocoons itself up. You have the gestation, you have that change period. This is what it is for Veritas, right? We're in our cocoon, right? And we're going to come out and we're going to fly. Not to sound hokey, but generally that's what's
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're this eagle in the cocoon.
Yes. Yeah, Phoenix.
That's it. Dr. Steve? Question?
Yeah. So
Thanks, Nick. Can we keep going for a little bit here?
Oh, hey, we got 300 people still on the call.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's close enough for me. Yeah, as long as you guys stay, as long as you guys are good, it's morning time for me. So
awesome.
Yeah,
well,
and
so, all right, Dr. Steve, over to you, brother.
okay, so I'm just looking. A lot of the questions are repeats. Actually, they must have came in late about getting the bonds at the current price, which answer is yes to that. Okay, the people that just coming in could never get to the point to the withdrawals, so it's not fair to us either. I'm not too sure. Even after accumulating the coins, I'm not sure what that question is there. Okay.
Yeah.
Shika wants to know, what do you mean we will vote on it if it comes to mind, and what would be the process for the things to be voted on? I think you answered that by going to the help the help chat and leave the questions there, because you'll post whatever is being voted on, I would imagine, in the community chat, and they can make the votes through the
let me explain like crystal clear.
Please.
And I know you haven't seen it yet, but basically what you'll do is you'll go to it's a whole separate interface. You'll connect your wallet just like you do to our existing platform that identifies you. It'll read how much SPV you have. A proposal will be shown, right? And then a timeline will be set. So the proposal will be, hey, should we stagger rebase rewards? Increasing from X amount to this amount over this amount of time. It's not going to be, super complicated. I'm going to do my best to make it digestible, but basically you'll vote, And then at the end of that period, let's say it's 7 days, if over 50% of the community agrees, it's go. If less than 50%, it's no go. Now, with your suggestions, okay, and I want you to understand this deeply. Consider it more like a suggestion box. Okay, so if your idea isn't adopted or something, right, at the timeline that you want, it's not because it was a bad idea, but again, we're growing super fast, super strong. So, the best ideas run to the top, and the other ones might get caught in the middle, but it's never an affront against you and the time that you invest to give the suggestion will be read, okay, and will be noticed. If not voted on like next week. So
Mhm.
Okay.
Did you see a question, Casey?
I see one. I don't,
Go ahead.
this is, there's so many good ones, but here, how are some members, I didn't know this, some members buying VVA tokens, recent transactions on the Veritas Vault, since that show that members are purchasing VVA tokens. Can you explain?
that's impossible. They may
Okay.
be getting transferred, right? I don't even. I mean, literally, I
I
don't.
didn't even know
I
you could
don't think you
transfer.
get. Yeah, yeah. I don't think you can even transfer them. To be
Unless,
honest.
unless they had
Yeah.
them, unless somebody got another alternative wallet,
Mhm.
which you didn't need, and then they sent them over to that one, and then that one maybe be right, because that could have happened. That's not in
Well, no, no.
the down.
Well, not
It's
at this
possible.
point. Not since we paused the contract for this.
Okay. Okay.
So anything after that, I mean, the Treasury can't send VVA. That's one of the
Okay.
reasons there's a bond delay. The program's been done on the bond since Monday. I wanted to launch it on Monday. But
So
no,
it's
no,
impossible.
yeah, I don't know. I don't want to spend more time, but I believe you're mistaken. Wherever else
Okay.
that, and
Thank
it,
you, Nick.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Steve?
Yeah, sure. This one was more of a comment, saying that if you close the contract, it says be careful because you can't make changes. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So I guess what it's saying is don't be in a rush, even though people want it closed. Just make sure you do your due diligence to do the right thing and make all the correct changes before that happens. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for recognizing that fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. If you guys could imagine if I had done this back in August, where we'd be. So
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm trying to see if I see any other questions. I don't really see any new questions. Do you, Casey?
Can you change things in the contract when you close the contract? No, we just answered that. If not, be careful. You said that. When can we can use VVAs to bond, buying new bonds? But we can. I don't know who put that one in. I
no,
guess
no, no, no. That's a
that's
misunderstanding.
incorrect.
The bonds will be purchased by DAI only.
Okay, perfect, perfect. And this one says, just to be clear, moving forward, in phases, the bonds will be the first phase of revenue intake towards the liquidity pool and treasury, and then after regular VVA through DAI purchases? Question mark. Then so after regular VVA through DAI purchases. So I guess we're talking about the bonds, aren't they, Dr. Steve, on there?
Yeah, the bonds. Yeah.
It's in that. Okay. So moving forward in phases, the bonds will be the first phase of revenue intake towards the liquidity pool and treasury. And there's another one that popped up. And then after regular VVA through DAI purchases. Just need to understand the process moving forward. I guess they're
Okay.
kind of, yeah. And so, and when the
Right.
bonds start, will that be the price of the VVA token at 33 cents? If whatever the price is, right?
Whatever it is.
Okay.
Whatever it is. I mean, I think it's 33 cents and some change, right?
Yes, sir.
So I am gonna give it a slight discount, right? Not as much as I would have at a dollar, but I'm gonna give a slight discount. So at least and there's no fees too, guys. So they buy it. I'm gonna give a very modest, right? Because again, I don't want to keep throwing tokens out there. And for those of you who've been with us from the beginning, you remember when we originally did bonds, right?
Right.
My
Mm-hmm.
mistake number one is the time frames were too short. We know that
Right.
7 days was like ridiculous. So in this option, it's 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. And understand we have such bigger things than the bonds. The only reason that I'm doing it is because I get just everybody's like, yeah, I know we have to do this. We got to stop the bleeding, guys. I'm with you. We love you. I'm praying for you, Howard. I'm doing it for the people that want to continue to sponsor and invite. Okay, and for not most
Yeah.
of you, but for a remarkable amount of you, this is your source of income. Okay. And forgive me on my language. I'm trying to be cool within the ranges, but I don't mean income. But this is the way you guys, pay your bills, right? We know that. So I want to keep that option open during this very, temporary, time frame to bring in the opportunity for even more, right? Liquidity,
Yeah.
right? The bonds are going to be good, but is that going to sustain us? No way. What's coming
No.
is what's going to sustain us. We're not talking about, $500,000, guys. All right, we're talking millions and
Right.
millions of dollars. And we're talking about attracting people. I mean, if you guys thought it was easy to bring in people to VBA before, when this goes down, it'll be amazing, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
let me stall it. Let me stall
Mhm.
it. Stop.
And there are those of us that, even if we just so because our hearts too, we're our belief system and all the leaders here, and not just the advisory board, but the founders and every one of us here. Look, I'm a giver. I think we're all givers. That's why we're attracted to this. You're a giver, and there's givers and takers in this world, and that's what attracts us to you. Is you're such a generous giver. Uh, and you're very fair is not even the word. It's like, and you have such a big heart. You have to be way above fair. So thank you for that. So real quick question
Thank
is,
you. Thank you, sir.
yeah, thank you, brother. Is the
Yeah.
liquidity pool locked?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
Okay.
Lots of investors interested in the project, asking about an audit uh, of the smart contract, which is,
Yeah,
Mhm.
we
yeah,
already
that's
covered that.
right.
Okay.
That's
Okay, and then here's a question. How will mass sell-off be prevented when the pause is removed? It's a good question. It's
I think
if I do my job, if I do my job right, guys.
there won't be no selling.
right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So,
Yeah.
me and the team. I mean, we're
Yeah.
gonna give it our all.
Yeah.
Because there's anyway.
Yeah.
I don't
When
say
you
more.
have a utility token, when you have something
Yeah,
behind it,
Right.
look, it's stability, and that's very important. We've grown this with just ideas and beliefs and trust and faith and excitement and
yeah,
so many things. And the team, look where we're at right now with the Zooms that we've done, with the videos even gotten better. Guys, our videos are amazing. Wow, these new 2 videos, just incredible, right? The tools are coming together, everything's coming together. Be patient, be excited, because I wake up every day and I don't know what's going to happen. It's like it's Christmas. So some days, right? Every day, how I just get so excited about this every day. So keep the excitement. That's the most important part. When life's got you down, stay excited. Don't join the crew that's not excited. Can the management hold on? I asked about time frame. Hold on, I saw this, Dr. Steve. For the projects to be implemented, I didn't get my clarification. I
okay.
didn't get, yeah, sorry, didn't get any clarification. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, let's get around this corner, right? I mean, I just
Yeah.
I just wanted to come on honestly
Exactly.
tonight and just say, hey, guys, it's okay, right? We got big stuff
Okay.
happening. You're gonna be
Yep.
happy with it. Okay. So let me get my thoughts formulated. I mean, I'm actually still out of town, right? So I'm gonna be here through tomorrow as well. I'm talking meeting after meeting after meeting. I'm on the phone with the leaders. I'm trying to get back to all my, just to be kind and to show you love, my Telegram chats and stuff that I get, direct messaging and all this stuff. So let us get around the corner, guys. Don't worry. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not up here jumping up and down and, shaking the
Right.
tambourine, right? It's just not my style, but you guys get my heart. That's who I am.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be frank. I'm trying to be direct. I'm letting you know it's okay, right? We're
Yep.
working on lifetime income here. Okay. I don't
Yeah.
think,
Exactly.
okay. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I hope I'm clear. And yeah, for those of you who are feeling that question but didn't get an answer to it, all will be revealed. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm laughing, Nick. There's a comment in here. and then a comment to the comment says, "Can you lock my upline wallet from good? She has been selling nonstop. I'm scared she will never stop." And a comment to that was, "I think we're all paying the price because of this charity wallet." I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, so see, lockdown for everybody for a period of time. Okay, well, I think we pretty much, Casey, I don't know if there's any newer questions that came in.
Well, no, I
Some-
think these are all of them are great questions. Some of them are getting redundant, and we
Yeah.
appreciate that. But what I've experienced tonight is, number one, the most important part is Nick is here. He's giving us transparency, and hold on. Sorry about that. I always get a call right during my Zooms, guys. So that always happens. It interrupts I'm on your phone. So these things, we know that right now, what I would do, and I'm going to give you, like Dr. Steve, this, and I think a lot of people will agree. I'm going to share. This is what I'm doing. I'm sharing the new link tree, the 2 videos, and saying I'm lining them up just like it's day one before it even started. I remember when this started, and I remember David Bass calling me and says, "Man, Nick's going to start this," and me and David were doing other things, but he just kind of threw that in. I said, "David, yeah," and it just went in one ear out the other, and then the next thing you know, a weekend went by, and he kind of mentioned it a couple of times, but he never really stayed on me and said, "KC, you really got to look at this. Nick is starting this in 2 days." And I'm like, wait, it's 2 days. Nick is doing this? Because, see, I didn't hear it the first time. What I'm saying is I lost a week, and it's okay, but we hadn't even started yet. We hadn't even made the token, hadn't even went. It wasn't live. My point here I'm trying to bring to you tonight is this. If this were starting over, this 33 cents is better than 38 cents. We're stronger than we were 3 months ago, whether you see it in the price or not.
Yeah.
We're stronger, we're better, we're much wiser. Nick is wiser. This is a learning curve, but guys, there's nobody that started a company that became successful without learning a few things as they went, and growing pains. So we got growing pains, but they're good pains. So I want to say that just know that what I would do is use every moment you can to take advantage of this time while he puts everything in preparation, while Nick does. That's my advice. I've been in the field for 26 years as my livelihood, not a hobby. And I'm saying that because I've been there, seen it happen over and over and over, but never to this magnitude with what Nick is doing. This is a gift. And just, let Nick do what he does, because, man, you're the man. I mean, if anybody can fly a plane, it's you, brother. If anybody can steer a ship, I'm betting on you. We're all betting on you. So, and that means we love you. So you bet. We love you. So just take this time to think, hey, reset. Big things are coming, huge things. You can't even go into it. That's what I'm recalling from tonight. And Dr. Steve, you can chime in there too. They're so big, he can barely contain himself. Nick can barely. He's not even telling me. So, and I don't want to know. Like I said, I like my Christmas. Every day I wake up, is it going to be today? It's going to be today. So to take advantage of the 33 cents. Take advantage when it does go live. Just know that where you're at, and some of you have just started. We love you. Hey, look. We're all in this together, whether you're brand new, like Dr. Steve said, or whether you're 2 weeks in, a month in, 2 months, guys. It's not that, we're this $1 billion, like he said, a cocoon. That's an eagle going to break out. So what we want to do is take this time, use it wisely, and say, look, we've been through some bumps, but they're growing pains. But man, when this baby goes live, you're going to be able to get it for better than the founders did. The founders. And wow, that's a gift. We got 9,000. We're closing in. We'll close in on 10,000. Look where we're going. We talk about coin market cap, Dr. Steve. Nick, you've talked about that as well. Where the potential of where this is going. Just think about potential on this call. Think about potential, and think about how blessed we are to be. And look, enjoy your life, every day, but also make sure you're letting people know about VVA. Enjoy your life every day, but make sure they know. And when this baby goes live, when it does, when all these moves have been made, you're going to be in the driver's seat going, man, instead of saying shoulda, woulda, coulda, and, oh, I'm going to, don't let that negativity creep in. Just be productive with the time. Go ahead, Dr. Steve.
Yeah, no worries. Absolutely. Hey, Nick, I had a couple of people private me on the same question. So I'll just ask it. I told them, well, and just to clarify it for them. They just said people who participated in the 6 weeks campaign on Tuesday were unable to claim, so the script may not feature them since the funds are still sitting in a 24-hour hold. What will be the solution to this, please? And then a follow-up, to Mayor's question in the campaign. What about the VVAs that we did not claim because of the shutdown? Because we did not get to claim them, they were pending or still pending. Will we still get our VVAs, whatever number of shares we have? I guess referring to the campaign and the
Okay, yeah, I think I've got it if I miss a piece of that question. So
Sure.
it's twofold. Regarding the contest, like I said, if I'm able to get in there, get you guys a report, I'm hoping tomorrow. Like I said, we're swamped, but we'll figure out who won, all right, and what you're owed. Don't worry about that. And even if it's a rounding error, I'm fine. I'll cover that. Regarding those who just happened on that day to claim, and it's in their 24-hour hold, that'll remain in there. So when we do, turn it back on, it's like nothing happened. So if you can imagine time travel, right? Everybody's seen a good movie on that. So it's like you walk through the door and then you're through it, and it's like, it took a second. But you are, X number of days in the past. So don't worry, nothing's going to change. I'm not changing. Nobody can change. I'm the guy that's got to get an admin and do this. So everything is safe, everything is secure, everything's going to remain on chain. You're good. Whatever you were entitled to, you will get, right? Even if I think it's owed to you, I'm going to pay it to you, right? So, or we're going to pay it to you, or the system's going to do it. So just like I said, just relax, guys. This was never, and I know we cover it, like more than I wish we should, but this is so new for a lot of people, DeFi and all that.
Yeah.
And usually when you hear about crypto, it's like, oh, the price of Bitcoin went up, the price of Bitcoin went down, oh, there's this new token. It was never about the token price. Now some of the other, people that, or not people, but organizations that do rebase tokens, they've had tremendous success with their token, right? Price. But the token is what gets you the rebase rewards. Buying the token, keeping the token, staking the token is what helps us generate those rewards. And now you got the debit cards coming. You got this enormous thing. Okay, you'll be all over this for years to come. Okay.
Yeah.
To just keep feeding the engine, right? I was when I and like AC said, I've done so many of these projects. I've been in this business like over 20 years, guys, like hardcore, right? I know what's right. I know what's wrong. Okay. I've seen owners do things, just completely selfishly. And I knew going into this, I was not going to be that guy. I was not going to create something that I didn't believe could last, outlast me, hopefully. So, guys, the token's going to be there. You're going to have additional instruments on top of the token, right? So everybody, just sitting there at their computer looking at the doggone token price. I don't even know what to say, guys. Like I said, I don't know why people are selling. I'm doing everything, and my team's doing everything. The leaders are doing everything. I mean, guys on our leadership council, right, don't have to work, right? They don't have to stress about anything. All right. A lot of us, them have resources, and it's coming out of love. It's coming to support the people that we invited, and I am delivering on that promise, guys. Okay. Whether you like it or not, you're getting your dessert.
awesome.
I
All
love
right.
dessert.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, I just want to say, thank you, Nick. I know the community really appreciate you taking time to come in person, on camera, to answer the questions, because
Yeah.
with changes, there's always going to be questions and concerns. And I think you've addressed every question, that was asked. And again, if a question wasn't answered, like Nick said, just go to the customer support, leave your questions or leave your comments.
Yeah,
Nick,
that'd be
he will see it and he'll let the team know and be aware that questions may be coming in, so he gets some timely fashion, so he'll be able to answer them back.
cool.
Casey, any final words before we close out, or
there's so, Dr. Steve, thank you so much for hosting as well, like you do day in and day out for us every Monday through Thursday, and unless of course when you're traveling, but you do everything you can to make sure you're always leading,
Yeah.
and doing what we can do to make this continue to grow and flourish as as a community. Thanks, Nick, for jumping on always, because it's great to see you, number one, and communicate with you directly and hear from you. Just real and transparent. Everybody will agree to that. Look, I would say, yeah, if you have any questions, please. Okay, this is important too. Are we gonna just to make sure? Is this recording? Someone asked me, is this recording going to
it
be?
is.
Okay, good. Okay.
Mhm.
And someone just asked me also, where's the new channel? I had someone text me today and say, what happened to the other? Did I get banned? And it's like that was last week, right? It was like Wednesday when we shut that down. When was that?
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah, I think it officially was like late last week. But we've
Okay,
been building. I mean, both myself and my
sure.
champs in that group were just like, hey, go to the news and updates. I think we
Right,
might
right. No, I saw
have.
the build up for it. Yeah, you were
Yeah,
building up to it before you did it.
yeah, very
So I
clear.
guess
Very
the
clear.
other, yeah, and so some people aren't in the know, and for those of you that are on the call, let your people know, because you know a lot of people aren't here that should be here, and the recording will be there. Have them go back and listen, because it will be in the recording. The other question, as we close out, is when will you turn back the Telegram or another channel where they can communicate again, if those people want to communicate? When will that be?
Well, like I said, I'm not going to manage that. Okay. I mean,
Okay.
I'm managing the news and updates, and I'm managing the leadership council, and
Yeah.
that's enough in and of itself. So I'm
Oh,
going to get
absolutely.
with a leader, select who. Okay, I tell you what, do this. I don't. Casey,
Yeah.
send me the name of that person that's asking that question. All
Mhm.
right,
Okay.
and then if you know who they are, and then let's you and I just plan on communicating with them, and maybe they can open it up. You know.
Okay.
I don't, and I thought I was clear. I know it seems super abrupt, but I just wanted to make sure that, because people are getting a lot of bad information. I don't,
Mhm.
Yeah. No,
and
it's
it
it's
just,
it's
yeah,
it's it's sad. Yeah. It
yeah,
really
and
is,
it's just
because
like, yeah, it's like week after week. I'm like, hey guys, no, that's right,
Yeah,
and I get a dozen messages, and I'm like, what is this,
right, right. No,
So that was the why, and number two is that it wasn't owned by our organization. A private member set it up very early on, and
okay.
everybody gravitated to it, right? Because we were moving
Yeah.
so fast, and that's not good policy. Right. Plus they didn't want to be admin anymore. And we contacted Telegram. And we're like, hey, can you switch it over to this account? And they were like, no, so whatever. So, but I've never been adverse to you guys doing it, but I don't want it to be a global thing. You gotta understand, we have people that have been around from day one. We have people that just joined yesterday, right? And if they're
Right.
jumping into a group, right, and everybody's got their little inside click going on, and they
Right.
got, bad information,
Mhm.
customer service issues, right? That could easily be resolved and a lot faster. We're going into the chat and it was just junk. Like even myself, I would look into the chat, and from you know night to morning, I'm looking at it and there's 75 messages in there. I mean, who's
Yeah.
got time to do that, right?
Right.
Oh, that's at
Um,
minimum. I got to tell you, I stayed out of there. I mean, I just didn't want to get in there anymore.
right.
Um, because
Yeah.
some of the threads were two people going, back and forth.
Back and forth.
Yeah, like back forth, back forth, back forth. Look, if you're
Yeah.
going to have that conversation, just contact each other personally through
Right.
Telegram, and
Yeah.
keep that chat. Keep that.
Well,
But I got to say, could you imagine, Dr. Steve, Nick, or anybody on the call? Could you imagine having to control that and police that? I mean,
right.
just any
I,
one of you. This is so that's what Nick's talking about.
exactly.
It's
No,
like
and
you got to keep
exactly.
it. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in case we have the company's channel for updates, which is the way it should be. I've seen, leaders typically have their own, chat group for
Yeah,
their
their own
teams,
groups.
and they
Their own
manage
groups.
their
Yeah,
own groups, and that's really the way, in my opinion, it should be.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean,
Good
yeah.
point.
I mean, yeah. Like I said, whoever asked that question, if you want to start your own group, I'm not adverse to that. I applaud that. You do your thing. but it can't be the organization, obviously.
Right.
We've got multi-nations. So, and I hope that's clear.
Yep.
Without,
And I hope it's clear that they're not using Veritas Vault in the Telegram channel other than through, what's a company approved.
right. So it
Right.
could be like DVA team or
Whatever.
Eagle One, whatever you do. So
Yeah.
but it'll never be corporate. I will not participate and respect that, and just fellowship and
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You guys
There we
have
go.
your own thing and then
Awesome.
feed off of each other and just make sure you tune into this channel where everything that's real news is news and that is going to be updates. Get your teams on this. I see less than 1,000 people in there. How can that be? Is there 1,000 in there, Dr. Steve? I mean, in the VV News now? We need to make
I think
sure
it's like
everybody's
800.
plugged in. Is there
Yeah,
800?
we've got a channel posted there, so everyone can.
Okay, did you post that in there again?
Yeah, it's in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, go to the chat and get that, copy it. There's been a couple of people ask me, the same question and throughout the day. And so we want everybody to know where the up-to-the-minute news is going to be. And so you're all plugged in, right, in the know. So what else, Dr. Steve? I think this is the greatest call. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, no, I was going to say there's 873 thus far. So, yeah. So it's growing.
That's a good
It's
number.
growing.
Good number.
It's growing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right. Well, if that's it, Casey, Nick, any last word or we're good?
Wow. Thank you.
Okay, there we go.
So guys, I mean, seriously, I'm grateful for you
guys,
all.
well, like Casey loves to see the loves. I want to see the loves for Nick, guys, because
come on, guys.
Let's see the hearts for
man.
For Nick. Let's see it. Come on. You guys could do better than that. There we go. There we go. That's it. That's it. Keep the love coming, guys. We got to keep him encouraged and keep him going because he's got
a lot of work. Like Elvis, a little burning love. Put a little little heart and then some fire, some heart and some fire. Look at that. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, guys. Yeah, don't feel obligated. It's cool. Yeah, everything I do it for you. As the song says.
Oh, I love that song, man. Brian Adams, come on now.
Yeah, that's right.
So we know that. So, guys, listen. Thank you so much for being with us. We have these calls Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And of course, Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is our Super Saturday training. We are having it, so be there, bring your team. We're going to be training. We'll have some amazing topics and trainers, so you definitely don't want to miss that. So with that, Nick, any final word? If not, we're going to close this.
That's it.
Nope,
Thank you.
Good?
See you next, as I say in the Philippines, see you next time.
See you next time. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Continue to have a blessed rest of the night, morning, or afternoon, wherever you are in the world.